In this video, we're gonna go over 8 of the most annoying cards that were ever in Clash Royale. Wait a second, every card in this game can be annoying, right? If you lose to a card, you're obviously gonna get mad. What are the actual differences between Mega Knight and Hog Rider? So let's go over what makes every single one of these cards annoying. Check which card you hate the most, because the last 2 cards here are so extremely annoying. Let's start up with the card that is actually pretty unique. This card right here that so many people hate. When you first look at this card, it does seem pretty fun and weird at the same time. He has a custom spawn ability, costs 7 elixir, and has a jump that deals double the damage from far away. This card is the Mega Knight. So what makes it so annoying? Mega Knight deals double the damage from far away, but his regular attack doesn't do that much. So that's what you see on the surface level with it. Just a normal legendary card with cool abilities. What makes it so annoying? Well, the thing is that Mega Knight has the thing that most cards similar to it do not. When you place a Valkyrie to defend something, it does do the job, and Dark Prince also has a charge ability, but it's not as cool. The thing that Mega Knight has, compared to other cards like Valkyrie and Dark Prince, is that Mega Knight is extremely satisfying to use. Yes, when you place a Mega Knight to kill barbarians, for example, it drops from the sky and just completely wrecks it. It also has a much bigger effect than other cards, since it's 7 elixir and has more power, and the thing is that the more satisfying a card is to play, the more annoying it is. Just think about it. If you obliterate someone's push with 1 Mega Knight, obviously your feelings are great, but their feelings that their entire push got obliterated by 1 single Mega Knight, which is pretty insane to think about. So make sure to remember this, because I do have 2 more cards related to it later in the video that by some are 10,000 times more annoying than Mega Knight. But what about something else, being another card? A card that some people hate way more. A card that was so annoying, but right now there is a chance that it got fixed, being Elite Barbarians. This next card that we have was a really serious case. It literally almost made so many people quit. So let's go back to when this was that big, before it got fixed later on, and go back to November of 2016. For some context, the game was obviously pretty new and not that many people were good at it, and the cards in the game were a lot less. But when the Elite Barbarians were released, they weren't actually that good. Their stats were so low compared to what they costed, which was 6 elixir. Their damage wasn't enough, their HP was really low, and they just weren't that good. And so 1 month later, in order to not make E-Barbs completely forgettable, they would get a massive buff. And right from there, E-Barbs would not only become super broken, but also unexpectedly very annoying to face. And so what made the E-Barbs like that? They were just strong, but what made them annoying? Well, to put it easily, it was speed. Yes, E-Barbs were pretty strong in terms of stats, but that's not enough to make them annoying. Combined with the speed though, the factor that made them way harder to stop and defend, seeing 2 E-Barbs at the bridge with a rage spell and not defending them because they were so fast and you misclicked, was one of the most annoying things that were ever in Clash Royale. Yes, it was this bad. The thing is though that the speed of E-Barbs did go down after a few years, but what about another card? A card that didn't get fixed and is still really annoying. A card that to this day, so many people just hate. This card that is extremely annoying in a way completely different than most other cards. This card I'm talking about being Firecracker. Hold up, how is this thing possible? It's not that the Firecracker is expensive and does a lot of damage at once, it's just a 3 elixir card that isn't even that good. Why do people hate this card so much? Well, as someone that also hates Firecracker from the bottom of my heart, the thing that makes this card so annoying is how hard it is to take out. Yes, the Firecracker has a knockback ability, has a massive range to it, and literally if you don't have arrows in your deck, then good luck killing this thing at the end of the game. But what about something else? A card that isn't actually a card, but is still very annoying? Something really massive that exists and is really annoying, being a Tower Troop? Yes, this Tower Troop that out of the 3 in the game is the most annoying, being Dagger Duchess. Now, how exactly can a Tower Troop be annoying? It's not even a card really, but the thing is that Dagger Duchess has something to it that other Tower Troops do not. Dagger Duchess, despite being bad, can actually completely hard counter certain things. Now, if you play some decks, you won't care about it at all, but for people with Goblin Barrel, for example, it's just ridiculous. This thing just completely hard counters this entire archetype of small cards, and for that, Dagger Duchess is a really annoying card, and the only Tower Troop that I would put on the list. What about something else though? A card not like Dagger Duchess that is a tower, a card that is not that good and despite that is one of the most annoying and hated cards that we have. Well, that card that we have is the Rocket. Now, on the surface it is pretty obvious to spot it already. Rocket deals massive damage at once and is extremely satisfying, and so from what we've said earlier, it makes it really annoying. But the thing is that Rocket isn't that simple of a case. It's not like any other card here. It's not even that offensive. Rocket is just a spell. How is it even related to other things? So the thing is, despite Rocket being a spell, I think it makes it even worse. Think about it. With regular cards, they are offensive and can sometimes be countered, but Rocket is just a spell. It has no counterplay, and when someone blows up your entire push with one shot, it doesn't even feel like they're playing the game because it is just defense. And because of that, Rocket is considered the most annoying spell in the game. Unlike this card that is really annoying but is way different from a spell. A card that is way worse than Rocket. One of my personal most hated being Elixir Golem. Hold up, E-Golem is trash, right? Really trash. What makes this card so annoying to play against? So the thing about E-Golem is that it is a really weird case of a card being so flawed up. Let me explain. E-Golem costs 3 elixir. When you finish killing it, you get 4 elixir added. So if someone plays E-Golem, you would have plus 7 elixir eventually. And that concept is pretty broken, not gonna lie. Why do you have to wait for the elixir advantage when playing this? And so the solution that E-Golem found itself in is that it is either extremely broken or just trash. And the thing is that if you make a few mistakes against an E-Golem player, you are basically completely cooked. But what about another card? A card more annoying than E-Golem, and a card that for some is ruining Clash Royale for almost 9 years at this point. Yeah, it is this bad. I do agree with this statement though, and I think after you hear this, you're gonna agree too. So this card that I'm talking about is of course X-Bow. Yes, this one single card is probably responsible for a lot of broken phones when people losing to it, but what makes X-Bow so bad? So the X-Bow is a ability that can be used on defense and stalemate the game. It can take out a tower from the other side of the bridge without being attacked, taking a full tower if it's not answered, with the card very expensive and impactful. A building that has to be defended at the bridge takes 6 elixir, so the element of having a massive impact from one card does apply pretty hard, and if that wasn't enough, it can also be used as a defensive building. Yes, what is this concept? And so for almost 9 years, X-Bow has been one of the most hated cards for a lot of people, and never went away. I do have one final card on the list though, a card that some people hate more than X-Bow, and some hate less. You are gonna have to decide this one for me, because in my opinion it is pretty close between this one and X-Bow. So what is this last card that is more annoying? Well, the one and only straightest card in the game, called E-Giant. Yes, this thing is just so brainless. I mean, yeah, it is easy to counter in single elixir and double elixir, but at the 2-minute left mark in the game, they start to put an E-Giant, and an E-Giant, and another E-Giant, and suddenly for both players, it doesn't even feel like playing Clash Royale. Yes, it's just E-Giant and defense. And then when you have a counter push, forget having another counter push, this guy just put another E-Giant and the push kill itself, and then when you put more, and he cycles to another E-Giant in the meantime, and another one, and 30 seconds later, you are facing 5 E-Giants coming to your tower, and you can do absolutely nothing about it. So yeah, this thing sucks. And if you make any mistakes against this type of guy, they might just basically cost you the whole game. And in order to stop E-Giant from completely destroying the game, the dev team had to nerf him so much to the point where he's one of the worst cards that exist. But if you play against an E-Giant player without a hard counter, you make a few mistakes on the way and you lose to this guy, I honestly don't see a way that your phone is surviving this one. But the thing is that I actually ain't 100% sure what is more annoying, E-Giant or X-Bow. So if you want to help, you have to comment what you think is the most annoying Clash Royale card and subscribe for more content.